I don't think she should be on the podcast. All right, we're recording now. This is YouTube Joseph WM podcast episode 3. History of the Earth.
Into
So, hello everyone. This
Joseph.
welcome to my podcast. I'm recording this. This is going to be on YouTube. I started the recording. So I'm joined here today by my friend Gregory, whose his username is unknown. My friend James, who's Frost family.
Mm,
Nassim, who's Hangout Baldwin. Dylan, who's the goat rider, and David, who's just David. All right, so um, let's start. So, um, Earth was formed about four. Earth started forming 4,567,000,000 years ago. From 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 accretion, which is basically what happens when you roll a snowball in the winter. And it when you make a snowball, the snow accretes. What's so funny?
Well, I think
mm,
what's so funny is that maybe you meant gravitational accretion and
Yes,
who's Hangout Balloon or whoever.
that's Nassim. You met him
you met me?
um when you came to
Well,
my hey to visit me in New York. Not
I
long,
was at Colano
um.
Cloud Center.
I hope Miss Lucas doesn't see this and get mad. But when you came to my
Yeah.
hang, hangout group um last spring. Anyway, back to the story. So hopefully I don't get a copyright strike. I'll take YouTube to court and sue that. Oh, that's not part of this. So anyway, back to history of the Earth. Then they the 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 rocks started as dust grains, and they were rocks, then bulldozers, then bigger bulldozers, then planetesimals, then protoplanets, and eventually the four. Oh, there were actually dozens of full-scale planets in the inner solar system at first. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are the only ones that survive today. Earth, in its early years, was bombarded. It was a vision of hell. It was a primeval hell. It was um, and then like 25 million years after the planet finished forming, which was like the planet finished forming 4,540,000,000 years ago. 25 million years after that, 4 billion. Oh, Jesse's joining. Oh, we'll restart this once he's coming. Oh, hold on. Um, let me probably have to go back into my other I have to go back to my other account because he's requesting to join. Hello, Jesse. Let me hold on before I introduce you to everyone. Let me just exit here. Hello, you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Can hear
yeah.
you.
Where's Jesse?
Oh, dear.
Oh,
His
there
rhythm.
you are. Sorry, I didn't realize that was you. We have everyone except for Jonathan. Oh, that's the guy that just left. So so this is the podcast. So Jesse, so this is James and Gregory. This is and Nassim. Yeah. Yes. I can't hear you.
I'm saying hi to Nassim.
Oh, and this
Hi.
is my one that says goat. That's his name. His name's Dylan. And the other one's David. They're my friends from CMA. So oh, sorry, I need to stand. So we just talking about the history of the Earth. Let me recap what we talked about so far. Um, 4,567,000,000 years ago, the Earth started forming from gravitational accretion. You know what that is?
No, what's that?
It's like accretion when you grow it you make a snowball in the winter. Snow sticks together. Same thing happened with rocks in the early solar system. The the planets became sorry, I need to stand. The planets they started out as dust grains and rocks and bulldozers, then planetesimals, then protoplanets, and then they became the four rocky planets we have today, plus many others. that were destroyed either by falling into the sun, colliding with each other, or thrown out of the solar system, gone rogue. That's a whole other topic. Anyway, so then 25 million years after the Earth finished forming 4,500,000,000 and 4,540,000,000 years ago. 25 million years after that, the whole Earth melted in what's known as the Iron Catastrophe. The, um, the heavier elements like iron and nickel and magnesium sank towards the center, while the lighter elements like oxygen and carbon, well, I don't know about carbon, but like oxygen, those lighter elements floated at the top, and that created the Earth's magnetic field. Before I continue, I must know this might take a while. We're talking about the Earth's whole story from its birth 4.5 billion years ago to its death 7 billion years in the future.
Okay.
And so as the so then like another 25 million years after that. So when the Earth was 50 million years old,
Oh,
the
okay.
iron catastrophe ended as the magnetic core um, cooled. I mean the magnetic core. I mean the magnetic field formed. The Earth's surface cooled and hardened and solidified. But just as that was happening, a Mars-sized planet called Theia hit Earth and smashed it and made it molten again. It smashed into it. Nassim, where are you going? Come on, where did he go? Why couldn't he tell us? Mm, oh, I hate this because I have to repeat what I say. No, I'll just try and make it brief. Anyway, so um, then Theia hit Earth and threw a ring of debris into space that the moon coalesced. Nassim, where you go?
I'm just putting my music away.
Why can't you tell us next time?
No.
And then also so as Theia hit Earth, so then Theia hit a Mars-sized planet hit Earth when it was 50 million years old. About around like four around. Let me think. 4 billion 490 million years ago. Um, s- um, and it threw a ring of debris into space that the moon coalesced. That the moon formed from maybe multiple moons at first. and, and then after the Earth and Moon, the newly formed Earth and Moon cooled. By the way, Earth before the Theia impact, before the giant impact, it's known as the giant impact hypothesis. Before that, Earth was called Gaia. And then also before that, it was the proto Earth. And then after the proto Earth slash Gaia became the earlier of the world we know today. Oh, not yet. It didn't. And um, the, and the Earth's crust and the Moon's crust cooled. Asteroids and comets started to rain down on Earth and gave and started to and bring water to Earth as in I think gases from volcanic activity. I'm not 100% sure about this. Created the first atmosphere. And then when the oceans first formed, they were not blue; they were red. And then so was the sky. And the moon was 30 times closer than it is today. It caused waves as um, it, miles high. It's basically the size of mega tsunamis that raced very far inland. But eventually, it, everything cooled down. By around 4.4 billion years ago, life might have began, but it could have been wiped out easily because asteroids and comets continued raining down. And this early period in the solar system was known as the Late Heavy Bombardment. It was caused by Uranus and Neptune switching places. Uranus. Oh yeah, that is appropriate side fact because the planet does smell like farts because of hydrogen sulfur in its atmosphere. Anyway, side jokes here. Uranus used to be the outermost. They believe that Scientists believe at first the order of the young planets was Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. Then Neptune and Uranus switched places, and that's what caused all the asteroids and comets and planetesimals to go flying all over the place, and triggered the late heavy bombardment, which is when you look at the moon every night, you see the craters um from that era. Um that's where they come from, but you're not going to see any craters on the Earth that were long eroded away due to billions
Still
of
see
years of
one.
erosion and plate tectonics. What?
You can still see one, the one that killed the dinosaurs.
I'm talking about 4 billion years ago, not 65 million years ago.
Oh,
And then also, so the first, so by the end of the late heavy bombardment around 3.8 billion years ago, the earliest microbes, cyanobacteria, probably appeared in the primitive oceans, the primordial oceans. So up from 4 billion, 4.604 when the Earth formed to 4 billion years ago was the Hadean eon, named for the um, Greek god of the underworld, Hades, and then from 4 billion to 2.4 billion years ago was the Archean eon. At this point, what happened, Jesse?
sorry, I did that by accident. Sorry, keep talking.
From four, and then 4 billion to 2.4 billion years ago, um, was the um, um, that was the Archean eon. But during this time, the Earth went from red. The Earth's oceans um, and atmosphere went from red to purple. To red to they were purple at one point. Purple to orange to green, and eventually, by the end of the turn, the next eon was blue. Um. So and the heart AD. The Archean eon was the age of the of bacteria. Was the age of bacteria and archaea. I'm not going to talk too in depth of it. Like I told Jesse at previous times about my evidence for a What's wrong, Gregory?
Nothing. I'm just listening.
I'm
Who's
not
Eric?
going to talk too um, too in depth. Like I told Jesse about previous time about my evidence for there being um, multicellular organisms in the Archean. Remember?
Hey, Joseph.
You
Joseph.
remember?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Did you hear about that fish thing they found on Europa?
They found life there.
They found like some weird fish thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's a fish, but it looks like a fish. Something like something.
Like a
But
man.
is it maybe it's related to Earth life. Um, and if so, that's the first visual sign that descendants of intelligent dinosaurs are on the moons of Jupiter. Could it be?
I think it could be. Wait, my microphone wasn't working there for a second. I think it could be possible because like I saw a picture of it and it looks kind of like a swordfish but with like a hook mouth. It's called a hook mouth. That's its name apparently, a hook
Is
mouth.
that the first alien species humans ever found?
I think so. Yeah, probably
When did this happen?
around April or May.
And who? What's? How could
Wow.
they have found it without sending a submarine there?
Hell if I know.
Oh,
What?
they have like waterproof cameras and stuff.
You mean the Juno spacecraft?
No, there's specialty uh diving equipment that is like a robotic submarine.
Anyway, we'll talk about this later another time. Let's get back to the history of the Earth. So and then and then there were several. The continent started as cratons and volcanic islands, like about 4.3 billion years ago. Which before, like around 4 billion years ago, the Earth was a world, just oceans. Do you know what cratons are?
What are
Anyone?
they? What are they?
They remember I mentioned planetesimals. You know what those are.
Kind of.
They're like that, but with continents.
Oh,
And then also, you know what I mean?
yeah.
There's still some in places like South Africa and Australia,
Oh,
and then also the cratons grew to form protocontinents, which grew into full-fledged continents. And then and, and then and then the first supercontinent around 3.5 billion years ago.
You okay, Jesse?
Yeah, which was called Canarland. Um,
yeah.
it broke up around 3.1
Oh,
billion. I'm not sure the exact dates of any of the pre Precambrian supercontinents. Um, and then also, sorry, just got a message from my step grandfather's son. I'll look at it later. I'll talk to him later. I have to continue this. Then pre um and then I don't know any of the dates from when to when from when each Precambrian supercontinent broke up, and first formed and broke up. But they lied to you in Earth science class that the continent started as Pangea. Did you know that? Did you guys know that?
Yep.
Yep.
I have
That
no
they were
idea.
that the continents
Yeah.
keep coming together and breaking up, coming together, breaking
Oh,
up throughout Earth's history every 300 to 500 million years. It's called the Wilson super cycle, the Wilson super cycle or supercontinent cycle. And so there was
super
Carnarvon. There was
psycho.
over the course of the Precambrian, which is from when the superunion from when Earth formed to to, to 548 million years ago. There was the Carnarvon. There was what happened? What's going on? I'm having internet connection trouble. What the heck? There, I think it's over. Weird.
Yeah.
Your camera's suddenly turned off. Most of you got. I think everyone except for Owens. Anyway, as I was saying, um, you listen. Anyway, so there was Narland. There was Road. There was there was Valbarta. There was Nia. There was Columbia. There was there was Road um Rodinia. There was Pannotia, and then one supercontinent that existed in the Phanerozoic for 548 million years ago to today, also known as the Age of Visible Life, um, or animals, was um, Gunwala, and then so so and then um, so then the super, and then I mean the eon that existed, that was from that happened between 2.4 billion years ago and around there. I think the Archean might have lasted until 2.1 billion years. I'm not sure, sometime around there. So like 548 million years ago with the Proterozoic. Sorry if I spit it on the screen. I'll take care of that later. The Proterozoic was um there was the age of different things. I see what you're doing, Jesse. This uh, you could save that for the end. And then the Proterozoic was the age of visible the age of the Proterozoic was the no, I mean it was the Paleoproterozoic was the age of Archaea, I believe. I'm not 100% sure that I don't know the dates of when it lasted. The Mesoproterozoic um was Protists, and then Neoproterozoic, it was early animals. Do you know what Archaea is? Anyone?
They're the little
No way.
bacteria.
They're not bacteria. They're relatives of bacteria. They're
Oh,
the other type of prokaryote. Um, they're type. Have you heard of them, Nassim?
No.
And then also and the and the archaea is, and then after you know what protists are? They're any eukaryotes, cell organisms with cells with internal organelles that are not plants, animal, fungus, or human, like algae or flagellids or slime molds. Algae is plant-like. Flagellids are an example of animal-like slime molds are example of fungus-like protists. There's probably different ones back then. And then in the Neoproterozoic had 3 periods. I don't know the dates. The Tauran, the Cryogenian, which was two snowball Earths. There was one at the end of the Archean 2.4 billion years ago. I forgot to mention that it was caused by the Great Oxygenation Event. Up until the end of the Archean, all life on Earth was anaerobic and breathed methane. Oxygen was poisonous to most microbes. Um, and then the cyanobacteria start pumping the oxygen as, um, as a waste product using carbon dioxide and sugars from sunlight. And that and that killed a lot of the anaerobic life. And then they sucked up so much carbon dioxide that the Earth's temperature plummeted. Ice formed at the poles, which formed more ice. Which reflected sunlight, which cooled the planet, which formed more ice, which reflect more sunlight, which cooled the planet, which formed more ice, and you get the picture of runaway ice, uh, reverse greenhouse, until the whole planet was covered from poles to the equator for 15 to 25 million years. This is called snowball Earth. It was the first snowball Earth was the Huronian glaciation. And then it happened twice again in the in the cryogenian between 750 635 million years ago. I forget which snowball, the exact dates for the snowball Earths, for each of the cryogenian snowball Earths. And then there was in the Ediacaran from 635 million. I do know some of the dates for periods in the Precambrian. From 645 million to 548 million years ago was the Ediacaran period. They were the first animals, the first invertebrates appeared at this time. Um, and then there was the first the they were Dickinsonia. Have you heard of Dickinsonia, Jesse?
The what?
Dickinsonia, one of the earliest animals.
No. What is it?
It looked it was on I forget the name of the phylum, but its whole phylum is extinct. Do you know what
Oh
domain,
wow.
kingdom, phylum, all that is?
Yeah, I know what those are.
Does everyone know what that is?
Yeah.
No.
Some plant?
No, domain, that's taxonomy and classification of life on Earth. Humans, for example, in domain eukaryotes, kingdom animals, phylum chordates, class mammals, order primates, family hominids, genus Homo, species Homo sapiens. And then
Oh,
also so
our phylum is chordata. We don't have spinal cord.
yeah, chord
That's the one distinguished thing. You know,
yeah,
and then it just comes to be whether you're mammal or not. It's milk. If you make milk.
also warm blooded. Oh, I don't believe that naked mole rats are cold blooded. Even though sources tell me they are cold blooded mammals. That's BS. They would still be synapsids, stem mammals, which we'll get to later. Um, so and then also so the um, so in the in the and then in the Cambrian period, the first period of the Paleozoic. The Paleozoic lasted five, from 548 um from 548 million to 548 million to 200 million years ago. In the first um, um, period, the Cambrian was from 548 million to 485 million years ago. But before we continue, Nassim, please don't let Miss Lucas find out that I briefly mentioned the hangout on here.
Okay, oh my god. So,
I I'm not going into detail. And then also, you promise?
I promise.
All right, back to the story of the Earth. So, and then the Cambrian was the age of the Cambrian. The next period, the Ordovician, from 485 million to 441 million years ago, was the age of trilobites. Cam, the Cambrian was when the Cambrian explosion happened. Animal life really took off. Um, the first vertebrates, the first jawless fish appeared around this time, during this at some point during this period. And the Cambrian was also the age of anomalocarids, which were arthropods, one of the earliest arthropods, if not the earliest. You know what
Have you heard of
arthropod?
Joseph Myers?
Yes.
Have you heard of a Wixwaxia?
Wasn't that a Cambrian animal?
Yeah,
Oh, I
Wixwaxia.
have I thought they were pronounced Wixowania. And then I heard of which I know Numlocaris, Opabenia, Hallucigenia, the trilobites, Hycuiphes, which was our ancestor from that time and one of the earliest vertebrates, a
Yeah, they
jawless
really did
fish.
look like aliens. Those Cambrian beings.
And then up until this point, the only life on land probably started like a billion years ago, but it was only microbes at first, and then up into this say for some slime and slimy algae on the beach. Then up until this point, they were probably only now in the Cameron the first. There were probably some up until this point. There was no life on land except for maybe microbes. Um, Life on Earth started in the ocean. In case you couldn't already tell. There was and then let me continue. So the Ordovician was also the age of brachiopods and ornithopodic nautiloids, which you want me to I have a um I have a fossil nautiloid ornithocone. Do you want me to go get it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll
Go
be
get
right
it.
back. They
Right.
look like squid with shells.
Quit.
Yeah.
I have never ever heard of squid before.
Have you had calamari?
Yeah.
That's
That's
squid.
it.
Yeah.
I love octopus. That's what I really love. Put
Hey,
put
I like
a
that.
put a
That's
little,
what I have.
little lemon pepper, and maybe a little cumin, and oh, yeah, you just pan fry or grill. It's swordfish.
What's swordfish taste like? What
Um,
hard taste fish like?
how would I describe it? It's got like
I also have a
a
trilobite
nice
from the. I
balance
also
of
have a. I'm
savory.
back. This is what they look like. They could get up to 20 feet long. These things. Um,
Wow.
Wow.
this is
Wow.
what they look like in life. I don't know if you could see well. Um,
Wow, cool.
Wow.
and they I also have a can. I have to be extremely careful of these things.
Where did you get that?
Fossils don't break. Who
Where did
did
you
break?
get
I
that?
mean, the ornithocone or the trilobite. The
Both.
ornithocone, I think.
Trilobite.
The trilobite, I think I got my as a present. My mom got it for me from a festival or something. I'm not sure. I got as a Hanukkah present. And then this is it. You see. I don't know if you could see well. I have another one. Do you want me to go get it?
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
I know. But this one is a Solarian or Devonian trilobite.
Look down a little bit.
That's cool. It's got some trilobites.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I feel cook trilobites. Well, then not. I like seafood.
But here it is. So this is this I think is from the Devonian period or Silurian. Have you
Cool.
seen these before?
Oh wow.
Have you seen them before? Trilobites.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
them.
I've seen them.
What about you, Nassim?
Which
No.
trilobites were not extinct?
Yeah, they lived before the dinosaurs.
But I wish they weren't extinct. so I can see when like actually living and swimming
I'll
around.
get to why they're extinct later. But then at the end of the Ordovician, the first mass extinction occurred, caused by a combination of the first land plants which were grown at this time, things like similar to moss, probably not related through convergent evolution, mosses or liverworts were grown. They sucked up oxygen, which drained sea levels and caused glacier and caused which they sucked up carbon dioxide, which formed ice which started an ice age that drained sea levels, drained shallow seas, and killed coral reefs and their wildlife. And then in addition, there could have been a gamma ray burst that hit Earth. You know what a gamma ray burst is?
Yeah, it's gamma
How
radiation.
knows what it is?
Yeah, they're the most powerful explosions in the universe, second only to the Big Bang. The gamma ray burst emits more energy in a few seconds than our sun does in its 10 to 12 billion year lifetime.
It's
That's
next to
how
X-rays.
what?
It's more powerful than.
Yeah, gamma rays are the most destructive phenomena in the universe, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then also, one possibly hit Earth at the end of the Ordovician, though wouldn't have left a trace, right? And they don't
Yeah.
leave traces in the fossil record, the
Yeah,
geologic record. What?
it would.
What traces would a gamma ray burst leave in the geologic record?
Gamma radiation.
Or like a burn mark.
Or like metals?
Like radiation.
And then also,
People can detect radiation through fossils.
Yeah, that's how we
People
find.
can like detect radiation like a fossil.
Yeah.
it wouldn't be.
I
Would
didn't
it
know
be
that. That's cool.
dangerous to the paleontologist, the radiation?
No,
Or
not
would it?
really. It's low levels. It's very low levels.
It's safe, but after hundreds of millions of years, it's not
Isn't there
harmful anymore.
anything living that has been taking it in release off radicals though? Because even though the radiation could be get, there are things alive over there that have been living there and keep on producing like different, whether it be bacteria or fungus or plants, whatever. They'd be having radicals keep producing.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna anyway. I'm anyway. I don't know if I understand. Let's continue. The Ordovician extinction lasted about
What is it?
500,000 years and wiped out
Yeah.
86% of all species, which is the second worst mass extinction in Earth's history. Next came the Silurian period from 400 and 40 million years ago to the Ordovician extinction occurred 441 million years ago. And the no 443 million years 444 million years ago. 440 um 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 hold on wait a minute, it says the call ends in 10 minutes. We have a free group calls having a limit of an hour, but that wasn't an hour. Oh, we have to wrap this up. Well, I think we have to finish. This might not be in one meeting. We might have to continue this another time, but for now we can continue.
All right.
And then the Ordovician
Yes.
um mass extinction oh no was 441 million years ago, and then the Silurian was started 440 million years ago. No, the Ordovician was 444 million years ago. The extinction 440 to 417 million years ago was the Silurian period, the age of Eurypterids or sea scorpions. You know what those were?
These
They were
scorpions.
Yeah, I know. They're like scorpions that live in the sea.
yeah, they were the size of a crocodile. They were terrifying, the biggest arthropods in Earth's history.
I wish they
Um,
existed.
what
I wish they existed in our
what
oceans.
now? Why they're I would be more afraid of them than I was lobsters and crabs when I was a kid.
It'd
Or
probably it'd
Anyway,
probably it'd probably be like seafood or something. They'd probably have like trucks. They probably have like restaurants that serve sea scorpion.
so anyway,
Are they
so
venomous?
no,
I
they
don't think they
weren't.
were venomous. I think they just had like this. I think they just had like the hook, but I don't think they were venomous.
They were still highly dangerous, right?
Yeah.
And then in the Silurian, the first jawed fish and the first large land plants probably. Oh no, the first large land plants didn't appear until the next period, the Devonian from 300 from 3. Oh, I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, I already mentioned the Saurian was the age of sea scorpions. Devonian from 417 million to 358 million years ago. And then the let's see um the the Devon the and then the Devonian was the age of fish, particularly the armored fish, the placoderms. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
Like Dougalastius, they looked like a medieval. They're extinct. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. They should be
Oh,
all most of them should.
what?
Most of them should be extinct.
Okay, and then also the armored um the armored fish. Yeah, they're um they went extinct in the Devonian mass extinction, second extinction, from 375 million to 360 million years ago. Caused by a gamma ray burst. Um, hitting the planet. Oh, not a gamma ray burst. My bad. No, this time it was, it was, um, eutrophic activity due to plants dying and decaying the soil, washing out to sea, and causing huge algal blooms and the water to stagnate. And there was also, an, and it was an anoxic event, meaning the water lost oxygen. And then there was um, possibly a collision with an asteroid or comet or something. And also volcanic activity, possibly a super plume in ocean of magma moving towards the surface of the Earth, a super plume. In the next period, the Carboniferous from 358 million to 400 and um and not from 358 million to 4 no I mean to um from 358 million to 299 million years ago was the Carboniferous around there. It was the age of giant insects and amphibians. I should be mentioned that the first land vertebrates appeared. The first tetrapods, four-limbed land vertebrates appeared in the Carboniferous, in the Devonian. I mean, like Tiktaalik and Iphristega. You know
Between
Tiktaalik, Jesse?
Yeah, I know TikTok, whatever it's called. I know it.
And then also there was and then amphibians took over in the Carboniferous. Um, the, the along with giant insects, there were dragonflies as big as eagles, 10-foot long millipedes called arthropoda. The eagle-sized dragonfly was called Meganera. There were scorpions as big as bobcats,
wow.
and then there were around there. And then there was spot Mesophile, a sea scorpion on land.
I
We
had to
haven't
go
been.
now.
Oh, we're almost done. Mesophile, it was shown in Walk of Monsters, but it's be a sea scorpion. Turned out to be a sea scorpion. It was shown as a spider in Walk of Monsters, but it turned out to be a sea scorpion. All right, we'll end this here, guys. Scorpion has to go. We don't have much time left.
All
Um,
right, bye, Joseph. I'll see you later, man.
I have a good. Hold on. Thank you for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. So, always, I'll see you next time.
Bye.
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 Bye.